Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us for today's Healthline 3. I'm Courtney Butts, and joining us in studio today is Shed It Weight Loss and Wellness in Bossier City. And we've got Irina Haskatas, Catherine Rogers, who's a physician assistant, and Irina, you are the co-owner of Shed It, and so we've got a special guest in studio, but I'll let you introduce her.
Yes, we have a very special guest here today. So she is a patient, but she's also a radio personality. This is Nina Montgomery. She works for Cumulus.
Yeah, I'm the program director for 3 radio stations, Magic 102.9, for Light Rock 100.7, and for Q97.3.
Awesome. So people may recognize your voice for sure. Right?
And I look a lot different than the last time they probably saw me out and about. So, but yes.
Right. Okay. And so we were talking that you have been in partnership with Shed It for almost a year now.
Yes.
So that's what we're going to be talking about today, is a lot about just your experience and, you know, the support that you've received with Shed It. So just tell me, like we did in our midday news, but a quick synopsis of just your experience with Shed It.
Okay. Well, I heard about Shed It, first of all. I heard about the wonderful work that they do. And I was interested in finding a way to lose weight without having to get surgery. Mm-hmm. That was the main thing. I did not want to have surgery, and I thought that would be my only option. I sat down with Irina and found out, no, it's not my only option, and that this is what they do, and it's medically assisted, so I didn't have to worry about it being some kind of fad that I'd start and then it would change, you know. I didn't want to be disappointed. And then she set up my meeting with Catherine, and I found out a lot about myself. One of the things that we did first was our hormonal testing, right? My hormones were out of whack.
Oh my
I'm about to be 57 in a couple of months, so there were a lot of things that were off kilter that I really needed help with, and so I can't thank you enough.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it really started like holistically. It wasn't like you said a fad to where you just jump into something that you weren't realistically going to be able to stick to.
Correct, right. Now I will tell you that I am down over 70 pounds.
Awesome.
Again, no surgery whatsoever. There is a drawback though. Because I lost so much weight, I get asked to do a lot of appearances now. And so I'm always out and about, to the point that I actually have to have a glam team now, where most people will get one for like weddings.
Right.
Or just, so now I've got this whole new headshots I got to do, photo things. It's just terrible.
Right.
Poor me, right? But
Very
thankfully,
good problem to have.
I've got a great team, the local elites. It's spelled with a Q, it's different. LOQUAL, local elites. And just before coming here today, they were like, Nina, we've got to take care of you girls. So here I am.
I love it.
They did a great job. You look absolutely fabulous.
Thank you so much. But yeah, that's a wonderful problem to have. But I feel great in my skin, great in my body, great going out and about. I don't have to worry about giving myself injections. There are some people who are great and fine about doing it. I love being able to show up and see you guys once a week and not having to worry about a thing. So I love it.
Was that something that maybe you considered before doing the injections? Like, oh no, I don't like needles.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, no surgery, needles, all that kind of stuff. Didn't like any of it, but they've got wonderful options. And I have to say this about Shed It. You don't have to just be near Shed Road in Bossier City to be with Shed It, because they've got this whole telehealth thing they do also.
Awesome.
So it doesn't matter where you are, if you're seeing this program, reach out to Shed It. Absolutely. Could change your life. At least have the consultation.
Yeah.
The first thing. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, and I love that you mentioned like this newfound confidence that you feel like you've maybe found, and where do you feel like that has picked up from? You know, from the experience, the journey. When do you feel like it changed?
It's from everything from the beginning. It's the having the support. That's something that you know, Courtney, we were talking about in between during the commercials. It's having the team, having the backing, and it's I've lost weight before in the past and then quickly regained it, but it's knowing that I have somebody through it all. And during the hormone testing, we found out, other than my stress hormones, because we talked about the fact that I managed 3 radio stations, so that's a lot, a lot of pressure, but my hormones were so out of whack that my cortisol was off the charts. My happy hormone, even though I was smiling all the time, tell them about my happy hormone, Catherine. It was so low.
Not much to it, yeah.
And the happy
It was
hormone,
non-existent.
what is like which cortisol versus
Progesterone.
Okay, and kind of explain the balance there, cortisol and progesterone, and like how much you'd want, or how do you balance that?
So, if we do the hormone testing, we're actually looking for estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, DHEA, which is another sex-stimulating hormone, and then the cortisol. So cortisol, we test the 4 different times of the day. Basically, you want your estrogen and progesterone to be in ratio with each other. Testosterone, if that's low, is another mood booster, libido, things like that. So there's really kind of a ratio for all of them, not just the progesterone. So looking at that, we see kind of what symptoms people are having, if they're premenopausal, postmenopausal, because that plays into what we can and can't replace. But yeah, basically we want them all in a good ratio. And then with that cortisol, just from our constant, think of just that fight or flight, that, response that we have. So that's where that gets just run up over time. And so then we try to get that, back down to earth, kind of get everything more centered, more relaxed and restful. So.
Okay, yeah. And so what happens when you do have high cholesterol and low happy hormone?
I can tell you, you walk around smiling, pretending to be happy, but you don't really feel it. But I had gotten so used to it that I didn't really realize the change until after coming to Shed It. And my whole world is different. Now I don't fake happy, I feel good. I really literally feel good. Oh, and the lean and sexy shots. That'll really get you feeling good for a solid week. I just feel awesome.
And tell me about those. What does that entail?
The lean and sexy shots are lipotropic injections, so they are not really semaglutide or tirzepatide, but they have a blend of amino acids and vitamins. They help mainly shed the weight in your midsection, but also give you more energy and boost your metabolism a little bit.
Okay.
So we actually have a special right now. Usually it's $200 for 4 shots on a special, but for Valentine's, like this entire month, we have 5 injections.
Nice.
So it is weekly injections that you can take in addition to other weight loss options that we provide. And it's just another little boost. I think now it's a great time because people are already thinking to get ready for spring break or for their beach vacation. So that is a great special that we're offering right now.
Awesome. I love that. Yeah, and so I read something recently that about 6% of people stick with their New Year's resolutions. And we're probably at that point where a lot of people maybe fall off. So Nina, tell us, how were you able to obviously you've got the support, right?
Yes.
But you still obviously make these lifestyle changes with that. So how were you able to maintain that?
Super easy. I got a great water bottle from Shed It. I went on Google and said how amazing Shed It was, and the next thing I know, they're like, here's a water bottle. I'm like, oh, really? So I held accountable where drink your water, Nina, which really helps. It's something that you need in order to flush also anyway. So they've got me drinking lots of water. Irina is like, first thing in the morning, get your exercise on, girl. She's like, that's the best time to do it. I hold to it, and I don't have to do a lot. You can start off really small. I didn't mention, so let me say, when I came to them, I was 278 pounds. And now I'm at 205.
Wow.
And it started where walking, taking the stairs, doing different things where it was labor. It was, kind of difficult, kind of hard. Now things are just totally different. Exercising feels different. All of that, and I still get to eat what I want when I want within moderation, and I do it. But yeah, it's high blood pressure. I was type 2 diabetic. I have not taken metformin, and I know everybody's journey is different. So I'm just going to share mine. Having to worry about the type 2 diabetes, the medication that I used to need.
Yeah.
I haven't taken in about a year. This is about a year that we've been together. So in about a year, when I first came to them, my doctor was extremely concerned about me, my health, my blood pressure. I was taking trips to the ER often for these things, and my doctor hugged me on our last visit. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's life-changing. It really is life-changing.
Right, and a lot of people think about aesthetics, and we talk about this a lot, but a lot of people think that this is the goal to, look skinny or, be smaller, or fit in a smaller body, or, fit in smaller clothes, but it really it, like you said, it's life-changing.
Yeah.
It can change you from the inside out, where you're not
Yeah.
having to take these medications, and so you don't have to worry about those chronic diseases, you know, so
Yeah.
that's important.
That's
Yeah.
everything.
The aesthetics is basically the positive side aspect, but the
Yeah.
important part is really to get healthier and to increase your health span and yeah, get quality years of life, especially when you're older and you want to spend time with your grandkids and you have a hard time getting up from the floor because you're just heavy and you don't feel good. And
Yeah.
this is really the majority of what should you get out of that on your weight loss journey.
Absolutely, yeah.
And if I could offer something, if you're on the fence and you're not quite sure, I suggest stopping by Shed It and getting a Fit 3D scan. It's like $40, right?
Yeah,
Something like that. Well, it's
yeah, for
less
non-patients,
than
it's
less than
$40.
$50. Oh yeah, by the way, I get a Fit 3D anytime I want because I'm a patient. So now what it is, it's a scan that will give you an overall look at your body, and you'll get to find out more than just how much you weigh or your BMI. You get lots of information, just about everything that you need, and it's not pretty. You'll get an email and you'll get to see yourself and go, "Ugh." But it gives you an overview of, you know, something to think about. And it gives you lots of information. And like you say, it being part of what I can, you know, step in and take a look and see how I'm doing, I can keep up with my progress.
Exactly.
And so I see how much I've lost, but I also see how much I've gained, like my muscle mass and different things like that. So it's pretty awesome. So if you're just wondering, or you just want to kind of dip your toe in and see what Shed It's got going on, pop in, $40, right?
Yeah,
And
that's
get some great information that's yours to keep.
Yeah, and I love that because it's open to everyone too.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it's not limited to just patients. So you mentioned, you know, encouraging someone if they are on the fence. So what, if you can remember, was it that made you choose Shed It? We kind of talked about it maybe at the beginning, but what was your mindset, you know, when you were ready for it? the
That
change?
really sold me on giving it a try right now
Yeah.
instead of putting it off.
Right, yeah.
Meeting them.
Awesome.
Meeting them. And that's everybody. That's from the receptionist, from Kelsey at the front desk, from Mackenzie, everyone. It's a team. And when I call and to schedule or reschedule, I've got new friends. And it's just a good overall feeling to know that you're really cared for.
Yeah.
So many things in life, even when it comes to going to the doctor, not my doctor's office, but in other doctor's offices, you're getting rushed through. Or people don't really listen to you or hear. I get to sit down, I get to ask questions. They really care about how I feel, how things are going. We made a change at one point with my injections, like how are things going? Do you need something else? You know, the dosage we started off extremely low. We worked our way, we stepped up, and it's just, I gotta look at myself in the camera just now, and it's just amazing how I looked when you first met me as to today. It's a huge difference.
Wow, yeah. Well, I
Yeah,
love
huge
that.
difference.
Well, we do actually have our first caller today, and so we might, if it's a caller for you, Nina, I'll relay that
Certainly.
that question to you. But Margaret, thanks for joining us, and what's your question?
I'm having problems with my called AC1 AC.
AC1.
What is it?
A1C?
Yes, A1C.
Oh,
I'm
my
sorry.
A1C is amazing. Okay.
So
I'm having
you're having
problems.
problems with your A1C? Okay.
Yes, it's real high, and I'm trying to figure out how can I lower it.
Okay.
Get it low.
Yeah, so she's
Do y'all
Margaret's
po-
wondering how she can lower her A1C. I think that's maybe something that Catherine could answer with the
Okay.
injections or you know, other tips that you could provide her.
Yeah, you know, a lot of times if you see your physician, they may start with metformin for A1C. These are the GLP injections that we offer, which is like the semaglutide. It also helps lower your A1C by working on increasing your insulin production. You know, things as far as trying to eat a low sugar, complex carb, high protein diet helps with lowering A1C. taking quick walks after meals will help lower A1C. There's all kind of different tips and tricks as far as what we offer at Shed It. We'd be happy to see you in consult and then talk about some more of those.
And that's why I was able to get off of metformin, was because of the help.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I was reliant on it. And my doctor had to see that my A1C was able to maintain and stay down. And it has continually. I still test my numbers to make sure everything is okay every few months now instead of every day. And yeah, a big
awesome.
difference.
That's awesome.
If I get on y'all, yes, if I get on y'all program, how long do it last?
So how long does your program last?
It's very individual. It really depends on every person. We have patients that do it for 2 or 3 months because they only want to lose 10 to 20 pounds. But we also have patients that come for more than a year. It's really individual how your body reacts and also what your goal is.
Right.
So it's very individualized.
Oh, okay. So, it's kind of high. Well, I know I'm overweight. I'm 306, I think. No, 314 the last time I weighed. I was at 289, but I don't know, it just pop on up.
Yeah. Well, definitely share maybe where she can find you if you were wanting to maybe talk with Irina or Catherine at Shed It Weight Loss and Wellness on Shed Road.
Yeah.
Give them your information.
If you would like some more information, you can call our receptionist, Kelsey, and the phone number is 318-746-3880. And you can also look at our website, which is shedit.com. And there is some of the commonly asked questions is on there. You also get some information about the medicine that we use and about pricing. So you can check that out as well.
Okay, can you repeat that phone number?
That is 318-746-3880.
80?
Yes. 318-746-3880.
Okay, 80.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thanks, Margaret, for calling in, and be sure and stick around. We're still listening to Nina and her experience as a Shed It patient, and you may be able to, be inspired by her story. Like you mentioned, you said that you'd brought your A1C down, right?
Yes.
So tell me those
stayed
numbers if you
down.
remember.
Oh well, it was above A17. It was above that, and now it's always below it. I remember my doctor was like, okay, if we can just keep your at 6, A16, then we'll be fine, and no problem. Stays away from it, nowhere near 7 or above.
Awesome.
So yeah, because you don't want it above.
Right.
Yeah.
It puts you at risk for other chronic diseases.
Yes.
Well, we do have another caller. Margaret, thanks for joining. Another
Wish
Margaret.
you well, Margaret. Oh,
We do have another Margaret on the line. Thanks, Margaret, for joining us. And what's your question?
I was trying to find out about these hormonal testing.
Okay.
How do you, what's the
Hormonal
cost
testing?
of that?
Oh, yes. It was simple. It was saliva that I would have to send off. I would test in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. Sent it off, and the results came back super quick. And it was a lot. It was a huge panel of a lot of things that you looked at, and you were able to explain it all to me, and set me up with an amazing program and a protocol and what we're going to do to tackle the problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so pretty easy. You just
Yeah,
how did the saliva?
it's like a kit
Okay.
that you get at Shed It. It has those little tubes where the saliva goes in.
Okay.
And then when the patient is done, there are some forms the patient has to fill out. And then you ship it off to CRT Labs, that's our partner, and then it comes directly back to our portal, so we see the results.
Okay, very
It's
cool.
Very simple.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so Margaret, if you're interested in that, that's something that Shed It offers. Did that help answer your question?
Is it expensive?
Price.
Depending on what panel you choose, we recommend to do the panel with the cortisol. That is $255, which is paid directly to the lab. And our consultation with that is $199. So that includes the visit or 2 visits with Catherine.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
And I
That
don't know
answers my
Margaret's
question.
age.
All right, thanks, Margaret, for calling in, and hopefully, we can get you back on track, and especially that's something awesome that you guys offer. And what were you saying?
I was going
Nina?
to say, I don't know her age, but I will say the hormonal thing, it was well worth it. I don't know if you caught it earlier, but I'm almost 60. I'm 57 in April. So facial hair, that stress hormone, the lack of the happy hormone, so many different things were way out of whack that I would have had no knowledge of had it not been from getting it done. So well worth it.
Yeah.
Well worth it.
Okay, and so you did the testing, but did you
Yes.
do any of hormone replacement therapy? Yeah, you did. Okay.
I do some, and it's super easy. Like in the morning, we talked about that happy hormone that I'm missing. A simple cream that I put on in the morning before starting my day. We talked about the cortisol, which is the stress hormone. So at night, I get the best sleep of my life before, and without having to take sleep meds. It's
That's
just,
awesome.
before it would be, I was always stressed out, not sleeping much, not just, so, everything's, I can't even go through how everything is just very different
So
and easy.
and your stress is still the
effortless.
same, right?
Oh, the job is still the job, girl.
But you're just able
But
to
I
manage
handle
it.
it differently, and what it does to me is very different, and the way I feel about things are very different, and the amount that I can handle, So I yell a lot less at work.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I think sleep helps a lot too. So
Yes.
is your sleep, you said the best sleep of your
Yes.
life, so it's definitely changed since
Yes.
you've
And it's all again due to the help that I get. I'm certain that had I not gotten it, and we talked about this too, that I might want to do another panel just out of curiosity to see, even though I know the huge difference, but just
Right.
kind of to see the numbers, to see the different levels.
Yeah.
But my children, they're all adults, but they notice the difference in mom. My grandchildren notice the difference. I was looking in the camera and watched myself, what? Did I just cross my legs effortlessly? That's not something I would have been able to do this time last year.
Wow. Yeah, and
So-
I'm sure you mentioned like stairs and walking kind of
Yes.
was kind of difficult at times. So
Yes.
now knowing that you have kids and grandkids,
Yes.
what has this experience been like, knowing that you maybe have this longevity and this increased quality of life now?
Well, I'm sure my grandson appreciates the Bluey dance parties. I get to join in with him and his mom, but
It's fun.
also I'm just thinking and living differently. I purchased a bicycle because as a child I never learned how to ride a bike, and now Nina's gonna ride a bicycle. So yeah,
It's never too
late.
I love that.
So it's a whole new me that's here to stay.
You got a new lease on life.
Yeah,
That
thanks
makes
to
me so
Shay.
happy. That really makes me so happy.
I love that. Yes. Okay. And so, talk to me about you mentioned the injections, like the needles
Yes.
were a little scary, but that's something that maybe not everybody gets with certain, where they get, the injections.
They've
Not
got
every
great
place
options.
will do
Sure.
that for you, right?
Yes,
So tell me about that, like how that experience is for you to know that you've got this support, not
Yes.
only with your journey, but also just to help you use the
Yes.
injection,
But also, since they're here, they can tell you there are options that if you're not a needle person, Shed It has got all that covered. They really have thought of everything, literally.
I love that. I love that. Okay, so tell me some other things that have changed. This has almost been a year that you've started this
Yes.
process. Was it difficult at first, or were you just bought in and you were all in?
Difficult as, if you're referring to difficult as in just checking in once a week, there's nothing to that, because even that is easy, because I'm in and out in 15 minutes or less.
Yeah.
I kind of talk a lot, so that's probably the only reason why it actually takes 15 minutes for the visit. But
Right.
it's just in and out, effortless, everything about it. There was nothing difficult. The start with Shed It, the only thing that was tricky was my mindset, because I thought I would have to I would have to deprive myself or something in order for it to be successful. That wasn't it at all. The thing I had to remember was to actually eat. It was important to eat, to not sit there and put myself on starvation. Before I thought, okay, I just eat a salad today, and that's not it at all. At all. It's so you really owe it to yourself to just come by, Shed It, call, make your appointment, 318-746-3880, right?
There you go.
That's the number?
Yep.
Okay. They're on my speed dial, so. But call them, stop by. You'll be surprised. But again, what I've done for me might not be what you need to do for you, because it's your personal journey. But nothing happens until you start it. So if I didn't start, I wouldn't be where I am now. All legs all crossed. And
Got you a glamour team
so
and all
thank
that.
you. I know, right? Local elites, okay.
And I love how you mentioned, Irina, earlier that it is, there's no way to know how long the program will last.
Yeah.
It's because it's individualized.
It's
what
very
works
individual.
for Nina is not going to work for the next person.
Yeah.
So, so I love that approach. Talk to me about that, like how you guys sat down with Nina and figured that out. Like, what does that look like?
It's also just a month-to-month check-in. So we
Yes.
sit down, talk about obviously weight loss goals, and then sort of our plan of action, what we need to do, and then we do have that monthly, how did we do? Did we have symptoms? Do we need to increase a dose, leave a dose the same? So even that is personalized, just kind of month-to-month, person-to-person.
Yeah.
And we're, 5 pounds to my ultimate goal?
Yes.
It will be here like this.
Well, and that.
I will miss you, Nina.
Yeah. So now you're kind of, once you hit your goal, what do you
Yes.
think is next?
When I hit my goal, what's next? Okay, first of all, if you're thinking I'm giving up on the lean and sexy, you're totally wrong. I love getting my B12s and my protein. I know what's happening, but also I'm staying connected with them because they're going to help me continue on the journey. There might be other things I need. We did talk about the fact that I want to do another hormonal panel. So I definitely want to do that and make sure that everything stays the course. But I love the fact that when I first spoke with Irina, she let me know, we're not trying to tie you down for life or anything. We just want to make sure that you're okay and to get you on your journey and get you where you're going and get you all the help you need. We're here to help you. It's not about, I really want you to be cautious and steer clear of people that make you empty promises. Or we talked about that this is not fad dieting, and there's so many fads out there. You want to stay away from that. You want to connect with people that are really going to see you and what your long-term goal is and to help get you there.
Yeah.
And that's what Shed It is for me. And
I
that's
love
what
that.
they've been for me. So that's everything.
I love that. Yes. Well, we have about 90 seconds left. So if you could tell somebody like one sentence, if they were sitting at home, if they were on the fence, like we mentioned earlier, what would be your words of wisdom to them?
Okay, I'm just going to give them some action, tell them what to do, okay?
Okay.
So I'm just going to be bossy because that's what I do for every day. So first things first, call 318-746-3880. Have the hardest questions that you think you have all your doubts. Take them with you to Shed It, okay? Sit down, talk, ask all your questions, have your doubts, like I said, and think it's not going to work. That's fine. Just go. You have to start somewhere. And you've got $40 on you? Do the Fit 3D scan. Start with that, okay? Take a look and just be honest with yourself. And if there are things that you think you cannot do, that's fine. You can say it and be vocal about it, but try. Start, okay?
I love it.
And
All
let me know how it goes.
Yes.
Margaret.
I know, right? Yes. Well, thanks, Nina, for joining us. And if you missed this will be on our website at ktbs.com/podcast. Thanks
Hi,
for joining
Mom.
us.